let's talk about where we're at as far as Leadership Fiji is concerned. As I mentioned, we're approaching our 25th year, and we're looking forward to an exciting year next year as we celebrate that. After this year's graduation, our alumni count reaches 592 in terms of the core program. And for both Sufi and myself, as we look back over the last 25 years, it is a source of great, great pride, but also gratitude when we see just where the alumni have gone and the kind of leadership they're showing in our country today. It's very, very exciting. I've also already mentioned that we're very grateful to that commitment from our partners. I want to highlight tonight some new partners. But before that, I want to specifically highlight the support of Fiji Water. Fiji Water has been a huge supporter of Leadership Fiji over a number of years now, and our growth in recent years is a direct result of that. So we really want to acknowledge Fiji Water and the Resnicks, who I know personally are very committed to leadership both here and in other parts of the world as well. But I want to also highlight a new partner, Merchant Finance, who's here. We've used our alumni connection there. Shireen has learnt that tactic from Sufi, and we really appreciate that. And the fact that we now have such an extensive alumni is something that we are really enjoying, and it's of great benefit to Leadership Fiji. And it's wonderful to see the alumni recognizing what we've been able to do in their careers and their lives, and being prepared to support that process in building the next generation of leaders. So thank you. Thank you to Merchant Finance. As I've said, and I say every year at this event, our definition of leadership is a little bit different from the traditional view, because our focus is on action. We're not about position. We're not worried. We are recognized that leadership is about action across the community and at all levels of the community. And our vision for Fiji is one where we see leaders exercising that kind of action and solving challenges and problems that we face up and down and right through the country. And so everything that we do is focused on building that. And those 592 alumni are just part of that process. And as part of that commitment to changing and bringing about that level of leadership, one of the things that we are continuing to work on is not only spreading the message of leadership and the lessons of Leadership Fiji across the community, much wider than this current core program. As I think I've said before at these events, our vision is about saying, well, we recognize we can provide a in-depth, intensive experience for 30 or so participants each year, but we want to take some of the things we've learned from that and then spread it across the community into as wide a group of people as possible. So we've done a number of things. In particular, one of the things that we're very passionate about, and we're great that Fiji Water's helping us with this too, and we want to really expand it in the coming years, is our work with schools and the prefects programs. We're very excited about that. We did a number of workshops this year in that area, and that's something that we want to grow in the coming years. And also, as some of you have heard and commented to me about tonight, we've just launched our inaugural Executive Leadership Program, and this is something we're very excited about. This is something that we've been dreaming about, we've been working on for a number of years. The idea is that we can, the current program, the core program, is designed for mid-level leaders, typically those who are destined for senior leadership roles within their organizations and within the community. But we do recognize that there is a group of people above them who have not had the opportunity to participate in Leadership Fiji and have often come to us and said, can you design a program for us? So that's what we've done with the Executive Leadership Program. And we're thrilled to have been able to launch it this year with a group of 7 bold leaders who are participating in this year's group. It's running over a 4-month period, 3 days each month, and will conclude in December. So we're thrilled about that. It's, I think, going to grow into something really significant. And from the interest that has been shown, thanks to our first-year group actually getting things going, I think we're going to see that continue to grow. So we're extremely excited, as I've said, about that one. Now, what's next on my list? Next on our list is something that I have been talking about at each year, at this event each year, and that is our dream of building a leadership centre. Now, that has been a dream in previous years. I can say that now is actually coming to reality. And so we are very excited. We've made some approaches. We have used our alumni network. It helps when the Minister of Lands is an alumni of Leadership Fiji 2002. So thanks to Sufi and the board, we've been met with Filimoni, the Honourable Filimoni Vosarongo, and he's been very supportive in our efforts. And we look forward to making some announcements, hopefully before the end of the year, as to a possible home, a new home for Leadership Fiji. So we're really excited about that. Our dream is to create a centre that not only offers facilities and training for Fiji, but potentially for the region as well. And so that is something that we expect to really progress in the next 12 months or so. So yeah, exciting news for that. Stay tuned on that subject. As I've said, the 25th anniversary is coming up not next year, in 2026, and we really hope that by that stage we will be really moving that forward. We've also done a lot more work in the area of leadership training across the community, as I've mentioned, in particular in offering short-form courses, and that area continues to grow for us. I've mentioned the prefects program, but also we're offering corporate and executive level programs. And I suppose one of the unique things about what we're able to do and what Shireen is able to do is to tailor-make programs for different organizations. And I want to stress that's not only private sector organizations, that is community organizations, that is right across the board. And it's been a lot of fun doing those programs. I've been helping Shireen with that, and it's been a very exciting process, and we hope to continue to grow that. Last year, we launched a short course, a day-long short course, which we thought, well, let's offer a program to the public where anybody can turn up, buy a ticket effectively, and turn up to participate in a leadership program. We call it Leading with Purpose, and we will hold our 3rd program next week here at the Holiday Inn. If anybody's interested, please contact Rosie-Ann and Shireen and talk to them about that. That is going to be running next week here at the Holiday Inn and next Wednesday. It's a great introduction to our philosophies. It's a great introduction to general concepts of leadership and bringing about change within the community, and what are some of the things that you need to be looking at. A great introduction to the philosophy of Leadership Fiji, so I highly recommend that. And I really want to acknowledge at this stage the support of the Holiday Inn and McDonald's, who have been great supporters with that program. Last year, I think we had over 100 participants in these events. We've also just completed our Australia Awards, 3rd cohort of the Australia Awards Alumni Reflective Leadership Program. This is a custom program that we've designed for those the graduates of Australian university programs, largely sponsored programs, where they've returned to Fiji, and we've designed a leadership program to help them in that process about bringing about change, coming back to Fiji with all that knowledge. Sometimes the challenge is you've got all the knowledge, you've had all the learnings, and you've got to return to Fiji, and how do you put that into action, and that's been very exciting, and it's been interesting to watch them join the Leadership Fiji family, and in fact I'll be mentioning participation from one of those graduates in a minute within our program. This year we were very excited about the announcement of a women's mock parliament, and we supported 5 of our alumni to take part. We're proud that 2 of them, and one from that reflective leadership program I just mentioned, got in and were able to participate. And we saw one of them take up the role of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Trade and Cooperatives and MSMEs. We saw one of them take up the Attorney General's role and Secretary General of Parliament and Assistant Minister of Sports. So let's hope that those amazing women will go on to take on those kind of roles for real in the future. I'd like to also acknowledge that our CEO, Shireen, was able to represent Fiji in the inaugural Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity under the Leaders Lead On Demand program, which is funded by the US Department of State. She's just returned. And these types of events have been great, and I know Shireen will return with lots of new ideas and changes for our program. And then next year, in February, and we'd had hoped that we would run this year, but we've been asked to delay it and defer it. We're going to run what we call one of our courageous conversations. One of the things that we see as our role within the community and as leaders within the community is to bring about change, as I've mentioned. And part of that is about talking about topics which sometimes we don't particularly want to discuss as a nation. In 2019, we had a very successful one on drugs, and it is interesting that even today, the decisions and the recommendations that came out of that day are being used as a guideline for those initiatives by government. This next one, we want to look at the issue of child abuse in Fiji and have a strong and courageous conversation about that. We're in the final stages of planning that, but we've been asked to defer it, so we've decided that we will look to hold it in the second half of February, and we're just working on a date with government because obviously we would like the Ministry of Women and Children to be part of that program, and so that's something to look forward to in the new year. The LF Foundation that I mentioned, which is funded this program and it continues to be part of our important outreach, welcomed this year a couple of new trustees. Dr. Deepak Sharma has joined. He is LF 2022, am I right? And Deepak was a very active chair of that year group. And Jacqueline Hughes, who participated in the Australia Awards Reflective Leadership Program. So we're really delighted to have them come on board, and hopefully they will bring new energy to that area of Leadership Fiji. Some of the numbers from this year: 18 sessions spread from March to October, 5 advocacy challenges, a total of 186 speakers, facilitators and support staff, and all driven by the amazing Mira, who's here. This is Mira's first year of running the program all on her own. And we're thrilled to have her on board and really taking up this role. She's done an amazing job. And of course, I just remind you all that if you're thinking about applying or having any members of your team apply for next year, you better get busy because it closes end of November. Please don't come to us on the 1st of December saying, please, 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 can we get in the program? Shireen is fierce on that subject, as some of you will know, so don't even think about it. On that note, I just want to acknowledge, before I acknowledge the team and the board, I also want to acknowledge LF 2024. Sufi and I were at the final retreat with Mira. We came out of it actually really exhausted. And I said, I don't know why, you know, this group is really fascinating. It's an amazing group, but it's kind of demanding, you know. And I don't think I'm breaching, you know, we are very strict on Chatham House rules within the program, but I think I could share this. At the end of it, I think Mira summed it up. And she said to the LF 2024, she said, you know, each year group walks to the beat of a drum. I've been trying to figure out what your beat is all year. In fact, I've been trying to figure out what instrument you've been playing all year. But what I can say about LF 2024, which has been amazing, is that whatever you've come up with, it has been very different, it has been unique, and it's been really exciting working with you all. It's been fantastic. Thank you for that.